Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Shadow bringing you guys another locals. This time we are playing EB02 GP Luffy. So I won dice roll, chose to go second, taking curve away from Shanks. I know nowadays it can go either or, but want to prolong the 10 drop Shanks here. So start off with playing the Searcher Nami from EB02, which can look for any straw hat, and I find Sanjin Pudding, which is the main card of the deck. Without Sanjin Pudding, every matchup is kind of very rough, so gotta make sure you find it as soon as possible. And then I open up with the 1-cost search event that can look for Heart Pirates, Kid Pirates, and Straw Hat. So I do find an Usahachi. Do not find another Sanjin Pudding, but it's okay. We at least have the first one to start. This deck does do a lot of searching, especially since you do have the Zorojuros, the Namis, the stage from EB02, and then of course this, that 1-cost searcher as well. So a lot of different things to be able to search with. And again, that card is also triggerable off life, which you do see here. Do find another Usahachi. So my opponent swung 5. I decided to take the first one just to give myself some different options, and then he's gonna play out a Sanji here. So typical Shanks turn, just gonna try to be aggressive. So forward on turn, I'm going to start off with playing a Zorojoro to search top 5 for another card. Again, this deck does a lot of searching. The only thing with the Zorojoro is that it can only find a purple Straw Hat type card, so it cannot search the Nami or the other Zoro. So that's what I think makes the Nami a little bit better, since it can search both green and purple. And I almost contemplated doing leader ability, that would have been very bad. So I just did a 5k swing. He uses his Shanks leader ability to reduce mine by 1,000. Free counter. That's what Shanks does. And then here he's gonna start off with a 5k. I believe I decided to take this one. Again, looking for different options. End up finding that secret Luffy, and then he 6k swings with that Sanji, which is why I took the first one. I felt bad countering out of a 6k with a 2k. And then he plays out the Lucky Root and a Building Snake. So setting up the Building Snake is very good for him, because then he can pretty much combo that with a Ben Beckman next turn, since he will be at 7 on. And if I do play Sanjin Pudding, which I just did, the Building Snake will help get rid of it with for the Ben Beckman with the trash ability. But you do see I finally proc leader ability, sending 2 Don back, restanding 2, and then Sanjin Pudding sees that I send 2 Don back, so it will ramp 1 back as well. So I am down 1 Don, but it's okay. Once I establish another Sanjin Pudding, then I'm kind of neutral until I get a third, which we gotta hope they stick. So I do swing 6 at life. I believe he counters out, and then I swing 3 into the Sanji attacker, and I do this instead of swinging the face, which I was going to do at first, just so I could bait out that leader ability. And then now I'm swinging 6 at the Sanji again. I want to take away some of this pressure that Shanks could do here. At best, he could have blocked with that Lucky Root and KO'd the Zorojuro, but more than likely going to let that Sanji die instead, because then he does get a draw off of it, so no point in saving it. And you could save that Lucky Root for later in the game to kind of take pressure away from my side of the board. I do end the turn with the Nico Robin, and I love this blocker. It is a blocker on KO, Don -1, search top 3. So another way to be able to kind of search for pieces in the deck that you are looking for. And here's that combo with the Building Snake with the Ben Beckman, which is exactly what he needed to do. Get rid of that Sanjin Pudding as soon as possible. You want to prevent GP from being able to establish multiple, so he's playing this very correct right now. And unfortunately for me, I don't find another one. So I am lucky enough. He was going to swing 5 in the leader. I do remind him that my leader is a 6k, so he's going to opt to swing at the Nami, so he can at least guarantee and clear a body from the field. I almost did block with that Nico Robin just so that I can search top 3 for a Sanji Pudding, but I opted not to. Decided to just keep it just for something else. And I am going to play the secret Luffy this turn, and I'm playing this out here just so I can get the rush and start putting pressure on the Shanks. Next turn, I believe he will be at 9 Don, so still not at 10 rush Shanks. So I at least want to get him to an uncomfortable spot. And again, he does have the Lucky Roo on the field that can pop one of my characters. And as you see, I did use my leader ability here, which is a little risky because, again, I'm not able to ramp one of the Dawn back. So I just completely put myself down in Dawn. So I'm going to swing 7 here to see if, this attack can go through. And he is going to proc. No, he takes it. He was considering on using his leader ability there. And here I swing 6. Honestly, I should have swung 7 here. It would have probably guaranteed me getting that Lucky Roo. As well as, I'm just going to have 2 Dawn up. I'm not sure really what I was contemplating on doing Luffy ability. But again, I already sent 2 Dawn back this turn using my leader ability. Using this Luffy ability to restand itself would have been the worst decision ever. So, definitely a misplay on my part. Swinging 7 with that Luffy leader would have been better because, again, it would have either forced out that Lucky Roo a turn earlier or get more cards from hand. So here he does KO the Robin, and here I am going to use that ability to search, and we're going to grab that Nami searcher there. And since I do have 2 Dawn, I am going to play it out to search top 5. You do see I knocked 4, so it was almost a perfect number. And I do see a Gum Gum Giant and a Sanjin Pudding. Contemplated on a Giant, but obviously this deck needs Sanjin Pudding, so I do grab the Sanjin Pudding. And I'm in an okay spot to not have to worry about it. Not going to be a 10 drop. At best, maybe a Rayleigh, reducing my field down by, 3 and a 2. Popping the Nami and putting pressure on the Secret Luffy with the Ben Beckman and leader. So I figured I can probably buy a turn trying to establish the Sanji Pudding again. Also, only sitting at 4 Dawn this turn is very not a good spot for GP Luffy at all. But you do see a Mulligan getting used on the Secret Luffy, which sucks that it happened, but it's better it done on the Secret Luffy than it is being done on the Sanjin Pudding that I am going to need. And then we do see a Dream Luffy hit, and he is going to attach it down the leader and then poke another 6 to my lead, and I do counter out both for the swing. I'm trying to stay healthy. Don't know if he's running Rogers at all, but much less I know next turn 10 drop Shanks is going to come, and those swings are going to be very rough to get around. So I'd rather stay healthy earlier than later. So I do establish Sanji Pudding, as you see, proc leader ability again, restanding 2, ramping 1 back, making myself a 6k leader. And I think I might use Electric Luna right here, so I can at least buy myself a turn. Again, preventing multiple swings from coming onto my side of the field right now. So Electric Luna does stun, 7 cost and under, and it will stun the entire field. So both his Dream Luffy and Ben Beckman cannot restand next turn. So again, just buying myself as much time as possible here. And you do see Secret Luffy there, but I am going to grab the Gum Gum Giant to kind of give myself some more defense for when he finally does start swinging again. So I'm going to swing 6 with the Zoro. He does give me a 2k Hongo, and then I swing 6 with leader. Here he decides to take it, which kind of shows me that he might not have much counter, because he could have used leader ability and 1k out. And past turn, you do see he is reading Electric Luna. It's a card that came out in, I believe, in OP8 or 7. I don't know. It's been one of these sets. But I have not seen many decks really running it. I did see Carrot run it for a little bit. But other than Carrot, maybe Bonnie teched it in for a little bit. It was OP8. That's when it came out. Do got my Carrot leader next to me. So as you do see here, he is swinging, I believe it was 6 at my life. Kind of tripped me out. This is where I realized he doesn't have 10 rush Shanks. I do take the life. I believe I could have got out of it, but again, I don't want to waste all that counter events that I have in my hand. I believe Giant and 0 cost events. So just kind of holding out on it. You do see double chopper blockers hit the field here, which now he's a little bit on the defense here. So not really a fan. But I do find another Sanjin Pudding, which is good for me. Able to get a draw off of it as well. Since Sanjin Pudding does have that ability, if you have equal to or less Dawn than your opponent, you get to draw a card on play. And now since I have double Sanji pudding, I do ramp 2 Don, so I do not lose any Don. I stay neutral on Don. If anything, I just get it all back, which is what you want to do in this deck. And at this point, I do not have another Electric Luna to be able to freeze the board one more turn. So now I'm going to start to put pressure onto his field there. So I do swing 7 at the Dream Luffy, or 8k at the Dream Luffy, just to pretty much guarantee it. Either he gives me chopper blockers or 2 cards from hand. Does give up the Luffy. And at this point, instead of swinging at the Ben Beckman again, because he still has leader ability to use, I'm going to just swing 6 at life. It's going to force his leader ability and a 1k, and then I'm going to swing 7. Does give me a chopper blocker here, and then I've tapped 3 to play out, I believe, another 3-cost Nico Robin blocker. Yep. And then I can use this Robin to find another piece. Specifically at this point, I'm going to try to look for Secret Luffy to try to close out the game next turn, if able to. Again, my opponent's kind of low on hand size, which is why I was contemplating on looking for the Secret Luffy, because then I could at least get myself another swing in. However, if he establishes a 10 rush Shanks, which I believe is what he's going to do, it is going to skew my turn a lot more. And this is where the slight misplay happens for my opponent. If he would have established the Shanks first, it would have reduced my entire field by 1,000. And then he could have put more pressure on my field. Right here it was actually using, or he swung 7 into leader here. So I just gave him the 0-cost event to get out of it. I knew 10 rush Shanks was coming, so I had saved the Nico Robin. But definitely applying pressure to the board here is what he should have done. 10 rush Shanks would have brought the Zoro down to 5. 0-cost event still would have got it out of it. However, it would have still put pressure on me a little bit more. I guess I did have the answers no matter what. No, leader swing would have at least been able to swing as well, which it still was able to, but he decided to pass. He could have at least swung into Zoro to ask for another counter there. And you did see I did do Nico search as well. I missed what I grabbed, but went on a little rant there. So at this point, I'm going to try to map out the turn. I want to try to go lethal. I believe he's only got 2 cards in hand, which is why I want to try to end it here. You do see I put a dice there to signify the 1,000 reduction that Shanks will do. So I am going to play out the Secret Luffy here. And again, my turn is kind of skewed because my attack is reduced by 1,000 here. So I am going to have to at least attach a Don to each of these characters, specifically Zoro, because if I don't attach a Don, he could use his leader ability to get out of the swing with no issues. So I am going to attach a Don, swing 6k at Shanks here. And again, this is just so that I can swing without having any issues with him, using leader ability and getting a free swing out. So this is where it's kind of tricky, because again, math, you got to math it out correctly here. Where typically I would have just swung 7s across the board with no issue. But he does take the first swing, which is exactly what I wanted to see. And now I'm going to attach a Don onto leader. Oh no, I just swung 6. I definitely should have swung 7 to pretty much ask for more cards. But I'm swinging 7 with the rest. And here he's going to do Batmaner's Kick Course, and I believe now he's got no cards in hand. So, or 1 more card in hand. So I'm going to swing 7 to pretty much guarantee this swing. And then I'm going to check for 6k with the Secret Luffy. Use his ability to restand. I forgot to grab a life, but you do. And then swing for 7 to try to go for game, which just barely gets there. But as always, if you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below what you guys thought, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.